What's up, interwebs? This is Millerhood Sports. Michael, Richard, what's up, guys? So, what are you doing?
Who is this small child that's on our podcast?
You didn't get enough jokes last week?
No, obviously not.
Is that
Isn't it past your bedtime?
Nick?
You're all funny.
Huh?
No, I think that's Jay. Little Jay. Nick J. Nicky J.
Huh. Well,
You know what the J stands for? J.
that is what it stands for. It does stand for J. Hey, if the Pampers diaper kid ever loses his job, they could just hire you for those photos, man. You look like a baby.
Okay, let's get on to the topics tonight. You guys are terrible.
Just right through.
You're terrible.
You guys are terrible.
All
Again,
right, let's talk about some sports, man.
sports hasn't really been going. Sports obviously hasn't been going on. I know Korea. I think it's Korea. Has baseball going again.
Yeah, they do. And like all of the commentators who have nothing to do are like providing commentary for the games via the internet. It's incredible.
That's awesome. But some stuff is still going on in the off season. Basketball is now NBA pushed back. I guess they pushed back the draft and combine in their something like that. So draft lottery and the combine is pushed back, obviously. So I don't even know if they're gonna get to start their season, or at least play.
And their season starts pretty late in the year. I assume the new season will start. It's just the last one's obviously gone. You know what I mean? No champion last year.
So you don't think they're gonna play the playoffs?
I doubt it. I don't know, man.
Can't they just call him Mulligan?
I don't know who this Mulligan guy is, but I don't know if he's got anything to do with the Basketball Association.
It sucks.
All right, what else you got? Give us some news, Nick.
Well, and news, NFL news. To get leverage, I'm guessing, because I don't know why else would they would sign him. Andy Dalton is now signed to the Cowboys, which means who knows what's going on with Dak Prescott at this point.
That's your team, right? Oklahoma?
Oklahoma. Well, the Dallas Cowboys are the home team of anybody in Oklahoma, obviously. I mean, it goes without saying.
The OK team.
They are. Well, okay, so okay is actually a really good way to describe it, because the knock on Dak is that he's not a top-tier quarterback, but he wants to get paid like the most money of anybody in the league. And the Dallas Cowboys are like, bro, you're like good, but I mean, you ain't like Peyton Manning good. You know what I mean? Like,
Dak good?
Yeah, like
yeah, he's not that good.
I was hearing commentators talk about, Dak should get paid. Well, the problem is, Dak gave up $30 million. Like,
he turned down $33 million a year.
Yeah.
He wants to be paid more than Russell Wilson, which is ridiculous. He is nowhere near the quarterback Russell Wilson is. Could you imagine the records and the Super Bowls Russell Wilson would have if he had the Dallas Cowboys offense? Like, it would be mind-boggling.
Yeah.
He's never had an O-line.
I couldn't imagine.
Okay.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so basically what's going on is Dak Prescott is the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Statistically, he does a pretty good job, but he's not the best quarterback in the NFL. He is a franchise quarterback, but he's not really viewed by most people as a top-tier, top 10 quarterback or top 5 quarterback. But he wants to be paid as though he is. he feels like he is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And he has played very well. But he's played very well on a team that is just stacked with offensive weapons, okay? He's had one of the better tight ends of all time to throw to the whole time. Wasn't Des Bryant still there when he started out? And now he's got Amari Cooper. And the whole time he's had Ezekiel Elliott, who's literally one of the top one or two running backs in the NFL, okay? And he wants to get paid like all the money, okay? And the Dallas Cowboys, many people believe, rightly so, are like, no, we think 33 is pretty fair, Dak. Why don't you just accept the contract? And Dak is holding out for more money. So Dak Prescott is very much in the vein of a game manager type quarterback. He's not going to throw the deep bombs down the field like a Patrick Mahomes. He is a good player. And if the Dolphins didn't draft Tua and they signed Dak Prescott, sign me up, right? I'm fine with that. Whatever. Nobody's going to complain about Dak Prescott being their quarterback, but he's not so amazing that you can't replace him. So this guy, Andy Dalton, who played for the Bengals, was cut by the Bengals because they drafted Joe Burrow. All right, so now Joe Burrow is going to be the starter in Cincinnati, and Andy Dalton, whose skill set is very, very similar to Dak Prescott's, got signed as the backup to Dak Prescott in Dallas. And people are saying this is a leverage move by the Cowboys. I don't think so, because they offered him $33 million. Andy Dalton signed a $1 million or $3 million contract.
He get paid like $3 million a year with like incentives.
Exactly. So it's not that. It's for a quarterback. It's really, really low. Okay. For a quarterback, it's really, really low. So people are saying they're doing that so they have leverage on Dak, so they can say, well, if Dak doesn't play, we'll just have this guy. But at the same time, in my opinion, it's actually smart, because what if Dak just wants more than they're willing to pay him? You know, what if they have done the math, done the evaluation, and said, look, Dak, this is what we are willing to pay you. And Dak is like, no, I want to be the highest paid guy in the NFL. And they're like, we are not going to do that. We can't do that and still be successful. So you have to take less money or go play somewhere else. He still has not signed his franchise tag, which is a whole nother topic for another time, Michael. Okay, so he's essentially holding out now for more money. So they signed basically Ginger Dak. that's what Andy Dalton is. Andy Dalton is Dak Prescott with a whole bright red head of hair. Okay, and they have a new head coach who's going to run a system that's probably going to play very well with Andy Dalton's skill set. Andy Dalton would have all of these fun little toys to play with. Okay, he's got Amari Cooper, and now they got CeeDee Lamb, Ezekiel Elliott still there. Isn't Gallup? Gallup is the other receiver that's there, I think. And their O-line is still insanely stacked. So, I mean, I don't know.
You don't think that provides leverage for them to maybe make Dak sign a contract?
I don't think it provides them very much leverage. I mean, it's Andy Dalton, right? And so it depends on how. Well, if they didn't give him a lot of money, you know what I mean? It's not like they're saying, well, if Dak's not here, we'll just go with Andy. We don't need you, Dak. It's almost like they're saying, I don't know if he's going to sign or not. We need somebody to play quarterback. Oh, look, Andy Dalton fell out of a tree in Cincinnati. We'll sign him.
Well, that was a weird thing, like, because a lot of people were saying that Andy Dalton could have gone to Jacksonville for more money, but he chose to go with Dallas.
Yeah, who wouldn't choose to go with Dallas and play with those players?
Right.
Like, seriously, all he's got to do is just blindly throw the ball up in the air. Somebody's going to catch it that's wearing a Cowboys uniform. He's got so many people to throw to.
Yeah, Brady should have went there.
Do you understand the immense happiness and joy it would have put in my soul to see Tom Brady suit up with the Dallas Cowboys? There are multiple fan bases across the NFL verse whose heads would have just exploded. Okay.
Would it have been more or less happy than to see him as a Jet?
Seeing him as a Jet, it makes no difference to me. I don't care. The Jets are a terrible team. Tom Brady's an overrated quarterback at this point in his career. So whatever. I wouldn't care if Tom Brady played for they who shall not be named.
Well, speaking of the Jets, longtime running back who's played for every single AFC East team besides the Patriots, now signed with the Jets, Frank Gore.
Frank the Tank is back, baby.
This is funny.
That's right. Frank the Tank is back with Adam Gase. He chose the Jets because he loves Adam Gase.
It's just funny to me that he was playing for the Dolphins like 2 years ago, and then he goes to the Bills, and then he goes to the Jets.
Yeah.
They're all 1-year deals, so if he decides, I want to play another year, New England could pick him up, and he'll do the full cycle.
Hey, the way New England is playing and the way Belichick feels about things, Ryan Fitzpatrick's deal is going to be up at the end of the year too. What if Frank Gore and Ryan Fitzpatrick both go and finish off their run in the AFC East at the Patriots? Because they're both the only two players to have literally played for all three of those teams. They may actually make the full run. It'll be an AFC East home run for both of them.
I think that would be funny. And honestly, at this point, I don't care. Jarrett Stidham is our quarterback. That's who it is, because they don't want to go after Cam Newton. And they didn't go after Hilton, so
supposedly Josh McDaniels is not real big on Cam Newton, supposedly.
Well, it's a player personality thing. Like, Cam Newton is going to bring a big personality to New England, and New England's not really about big characters.
Yeah, they've never had any big personalities in New England.
Not that they've kept long term.
Right. I know. Ooh.
Who's the big personality that stayed long term?
Randy Moss.
Did not stay long term, Richard. He stayed for 2 seasons.
He was not there for only 2 seasons.
Look it up. It was basically 2 or 3 seasons that he stayed.
No.
Yeah.
Either way, 3 whole seasons isn't nothing. It's something. How about Gronkowski?
Yes, but I'm talking about guys who have
Teddy Bruschi.
I'm talking about guys who have an ego.
Antonio Brown.
How long did he last, Richard?
Chad Ochocinco.
How long did he last?
It's not a matter of whether or not they lasted, Nick. It's a matter of whether or not they signed those guys, and they signed all of those guys.
Yeah, and they didn't have them for a very long time.
So what? How long did they have Darrelle Revis?
If they signed Cam Newton, okay, and if Cam Newton acted the way he did, like he has over the past couple of years, he'd probably get traded out.
All the Patriots care about is winning the Super Bowl. If they thought Cam Newton wearing a woman's bonnet would win them a Super Bowl, they'd sign him today.
Put a camera in.
That's right. I have no idea what he just said.
They think Jarrett Stidham can win them the Super Bowl.
They do. They do.
Not that worst guy.
What's that?
But not that worst guy.
No. Tristan Wirfs. I can't even remember where he went now. He's the worst player in the NFL now. All right.
It's where Nick wanted him to go.
So I got something I want to talk about. You're talking about they who shall not be named. Did you see this? Lamar Jackson signed by the Jets.
Is the Jets who should not be named?
They are. They should not be named.
You literally said the Jets like 5 times.
Lamar Jackson just got signed by the Jets, Nick. How do you feel about that?
I think it's impossible.
It happened.
By who? It's obviously a different Lamar Jackson.
It is a different Lamar Jackson. It is a undrafted free agent cornerback named Lamar Jackson, and he is now a New York Jet. Unfortunately, for him, I guess. But yes, the New York Jets now also have a Lamar Jackson. Will they utilize him in the same way Baltimore uses their Lamar Jackson? Do the Lamar Jacksons have a similar skill set? Are they brothers? Are there more Lamar Jacksons? Could you have all the Lamar Jacksons play on the same team? If they started a basketball team, could they call themselves the Jackson 5? That would be great.
How do they get to their away games?
I don't know how they get to their away games. I also don't know what context in which you're speaking of this.
How do you feel they leave for them?
What?
The Jets.
The Jets. He's talking about the Jets. How do they get to their away games? Oh, they could go there on a jet because they're the Jets. He's trying to make a pun.
Do they go on a jet plane?
They probably do go on a jet plane. Jets on jets on jets. So the new player numbers came out for some of the teams. The Dolphins, they did. Tua got his number. You guys see that?
Yeah, you got one.
Number 1. So Tua Tagovailoa is already the number 1 quarterback.
He didn't go with
in
15.
Miami.
I thought he was going to go with 15.
No, he went with number 1.
Something like that.
Number 1, number 1.
Well, I thought it'd been hilarious that they would have gone with 15. Or no, was it 15 or 14?
14.
Well, Fitzpatrick has 14, so
15 then.
I think one of the receivers has 15.
There was something about the the best 3 Dolphin quarterback would have been.
Well, yeah, Bob Greasy was 12, Marino was 13, so some of the people wanted Tua to be 14.
Oh.
I love Tua's attitude about the numbers, though. When people ask him, they're like, so do you want Dan Marino's number 13? Which is, by the way, such a stupid question. It's a ridiculous question. You don't even know if Tua's going to be that great. What if he gets hurt and he's out for a year, out forever? You just don't know, right? Yeah, let's unretire the number for the greatest quarterback of all time and hand it to this guy. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. It burns him up so much. He's like,
That's ever since you went to Tampa, I'm more conflicted every day.
yeah, I mean, because now you're going to have to actually admit his faults. And what are you going to do when Jarrett Stidham throws for 5,000 yards with that same garbage pile of receivers that you say Tom Brady had last year?
I'm going to have a New Jersey.
Watch, N'Keal Harry's going to win Rookie of the Year in his second year in the league. Took him a little longer. All right. Yeah, so Tua.
Richard didn't finish his statement.
What statement?
About Tua?
Yeah, Tua, number 1.
No,
That was all.
Said his response to the whole number thing.
Oh, yes, thank you, Michael. Yeah, Tua's response to the whole number thing was great. He just told people, I don't care. Like, I really don't care. I'll wear whatever number they tell me to wear. I do not care. And I asked him, like, several times, like, so do you think you're going to wear 13? I don't care. I don't care what number I get. It's like, do you think they should give you Marino's number? It's like, I don't think so. He's the GOAT. No, they shouldn't give me his number, and I don't care what number they give me. It's pretty great.
Well, that's the whole thing, like with numbers on the jersey thing. I don't think it really matters in football. Like basketball, I don't think it really matters either. But that's a bigger thing in basketball.
Doesn't matter in any of them because it's.
Do you know what's
sports?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Do you know what's really weird? Like Pat Riley has retired the numbers of other people, of people from other sports. Like the Miami Heat retired number 13 because of Dan Marino. The basketball team retired Dan Marino's number and Michael Jordan's number. Nobody can be 13 or 23 on the Miami Heat because Pat Riley retired the numbers.
Wait a minute. What number did LeBron wear?
6. He wore 6 in Miami.
Maybe that's why he left. He couldn't.
Yeah, Nick. That's why he left. The number thing just got in his crawl so much. After 4 years, he was like, "Oh, I'm sick of this."
I'm just saying, he's been 23 everywhere else.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it was the number. Pretty sure.
But there has been.
Anyways,
There was other news that came out of Miami.
There was. Sad day in South Beach. The winningest head coach of all time has gone on to that big, I don't know, coach thing in the sky. I don't know what you call it. Football field in the sky. Maybe that would have been good.
End zone, because it's the end.
Yeah, our hearts go out to his friends and family members, of course. Was a lot of people saying lots of great stuff about Don Shula passing. So really sad to see him go. It's always, but you feel most for the people that know him. I always find it funny how people that don't know these famous people when they pass on have such outward reactions to it. And I'm always thinking, you don't even know that guy. You know what I mean? But as somebody's friend, brother, husband, father, you know what I mean? Grandfather that's not there anymore. And that sucks. So our hearts go out to those people, man. Hearts and prayers, for sure.
Don Shula.
Don Shula was legit, though, dude. Guided the Miami Dolphins to the only undefeated season in NFL history. The only one. There has not been another one. There's only been one team to ever finish the Super Bowl with a 0 in the L column. That is the Miami Dolphins, led by head coach Don Shula. And he did it with a second and sometimes third string quarterbacks. I think it was Earl Morrall, who was really old by that point. Okay, and a lot of running. They ran a lot that season. I think they had 2,000-yard rushers. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
I think Dad said something that they were talking about maybe doing, for the games next year, do the 72 jerseys.
I've seen some of the fans say that on the boards and stuff. I don't know if they're going to do that or not. I don't know. I don't like their jerseys anyways. I think they need to revamp them, make them cooler, but whatever.
Well, a lot of teams are revamping their jerseys now.
I know, and some of them look pretty dope.
Yeah.
The new Bucks jerseys are pretty cool.
I hope they don't I'm glad there's no orange.
Yeah, creamsicle.
Looks so stupid.
That's great. But yeah. So to summarize things on Miller Hood Sports this week, we talked about Ginger Dak, Andy Dalton going to the Dallas Cowboys. We talked about Tua being number 1 already in Miami, not just in our hearts, but also on his jersey. Then we talked about the passing of one Don Shula, the winningest coach of all time. Even one Mr. Bill Belichick will have to coach for 8 or 10 more years to catch up. 30 straight years as a head coach in the NFL. Phenomenal. Then also another thing people don't talk about with Don Shula, he went from the 70s team of the Dolphins being a smash-mouth, grinded-out, run-based team to the high-flying, literally break all the records that exist in the NFL at the time, Dan Marino offense. So that was good. But then there's other problems later on in his career, but we won't talk about that. Let's just move on. Right, so Don Shula, then we talked about Frank the Tank going to the Jets and being joined by Lamar Jackson at the Jets, who shall no longer be named. Worst team of any sports thing ever anywhere. And I think that's it. That's all the topics we talked about. Did we talk about anything else that I forgot to summarize right there?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No.
That is today. That is this week in Miller Hood Sports.
Yay.
All right, guys, this is Miller Hood Sports. If you like this video, you can like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you listen to this on audio, you can leave us a review.
Relieve us?
And this week only, if we get 100 subscribers or 1 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, whoever gives us the review or whoever the 100th subscriber is gets 1 free deluxe El Dorado taco.
Okay. Bye, guys.